Why don't we start there, Ari? Tell us about that endeavor.
Well, morning, and thank you for having me on the show. We're delighted to be here at the Singapore FinTech Festival. As you rightly pointed out, we made the announcement of our Fintech Express platform. And what we're really trying to do here is under this platform, we're really expanding our reach for FinTech collaboration and partnership, and really accelerating the way Mastercard works with FinTechs across the region and make the whole process of onboarding FinTechs onto the Mastercard global platform in a seamless manner. And I'm just delighted that we're taking this very important step as the ecosystem continues to evolve, where our global platform is an enabler for all players, whether traditional banks and financial institutions or FinTechs that are coming down the pipe in a rapidly changing world.
Well, Ari, tell us more specifically what you're actually doing with these companies, if you can you give us some tangible examples?
So if you really look at where our traditional business model has been, where we've onboarded banks and financial institutions, the Fintech Express is really targeting FinTech players with our rules, our technology, our capability, our platforms, our licensing process, and all of that is being streamlined, where we're actually enabling many of these services at a fraction of the time of what we would have traditionally taken with many of our traditional customers. So I think it's really speed, acceleration, and making sure that as the world continues to move faster, we are keeping pace with many of those changes and are working in a nimble way to enable our services.
Yeah, Ari, just so you know, so last week I was moderating a panel at the Hong Kong FinTech Festival, and your friends from Visa, Discover, and Swift were on the panel. I asked them this question. I'd like you to answer it as well. The need for efficiency and to get money where it needs to be quickly has always existed. My question is, why are you pushing this now? Is it because the technology exists, or is it because your competitors are simply doing it?
Well, it's a bit of both. I think technology is also changing at a very rapid pace, and we are actually bringing new capabilities. If you look at how we are partnering in the digital world and enablement of payment services through mobile-led devices, our 50-year journey has been largely a plastic form factor, which we've all carried in our wallets, and we are taking exactly that technology and capability into the virtual world and into a number of devices, whether it is the mobile devices, whether it is wearables, and that's the journey that we're really on. And as we do that, we also recognize that there are many new players in the ecosystem who will enable those services. And therefore, it's really critical for us that we are willing partners for all of those new entrants who are enabling partners for many of the institutions that end up using those services. And I think the Fintech Express is really just another step in that direction, where we are using technology and the changes in it together with process reimagining and making changes internally to what Mastercard does and delivering a more compelling value proposition.
So does your future include, blockchain, I suppose, and AI as well? How do these two figure in what you're trying to do in terms of improving the offering and these partnerships? And top of that, of course, there's Libra, and I think that Mastercard's pushed back from that too.
That is correct. If you really consider blockchain as a technology, we are partnered with a number of players on a variety of fronts. And we are really working on things around proof of provenance, B2B payments. However, I think the pullback from Libra was more determined by us in the manner that, we are essentially a regulated entity where we work with a number of markets with supervision by central bank regulators. And we've been very clear from day one that our partnership into Libra was recognizing those obligations and recognizing that we have commitments across our regulatory frameworks and therefore stay true to that. And the intention really was that being inside the tent would allow us an opportunity to shape some of those conversations. And we've stepped back because we felt that some of those basic core tenets were not necessarily being adhered to. And that was one of our decisions to step back and be on the sidelines.
Let's take a further step back then, and I'm sure the conversations there at the FinTech Festival will really all be about change. Try and project 10 years ahead here for us, Ari. What part of your business do you think becomes redundant and obsolete in 10 years' time?
Well, it's very difficult to say what becomes obsolete. I think what we really are endeavoring to do is, as technology changes happen, are we nimble enough to recognize the changes? Are we moving swiftly enough to adapt to that changing market environment? And I think it's a testament that over the last 10 years, we've done that really well. Now, what will the future look like in the coming 10 years? I think we're really excited about what 5G technology is going to do in terms of connectivity, and the implications of that in cost of terminals, implication of that on cost of devices, and the world of IoT, which is really fascinating for us, as we can embed a lot of our existing technologies and new things that we've developed over the last few years and really embed ourselves into the future of commerce. You look at our investments in the cybersecurity space. We've made some very significant strides, recognizing the world is moving towards a more connected world, and many of those investments, which is AI and machine learning led, will have very significant implications as we move towards an even faster connected world and even more connected world in the coming years ahead.